my struggle to learn English. Hello, my name is Alex. I am a student learning English. This is my story and I want to share it with you. You can read my story and maybe you can learn English with me. One beautiful summer day, I was traveling on a train. The sun was shining brightly, and I felt happy. I looked out the window and saw the green trees and blue sky. Two women were sitting across from me. They were speaking English. I listened carefully but could only catch a few words like friends and holiday. I felt confused but also curious. I wanted to understand what they were saying. When I got home, I decided to join an English class. I felt nervous but excited. On the first day, I met my teacher, Mr. Collins. He was very kind and welcomed everyone with a smile. Learning English is like climbing a mountain. It is hard, but you can do it, he said. His words made me feel better and more confident. In class, we learned new words and phrases every day. We practiced speaking with each other. Sometimes we played games to learn. One day, we played a game called Word Relay. The class was divided into two teams. We had to say a word in English, and the next person had to say another word that started with the last letter of the previous word. It was fun and helped us remember new words. I remember one lesson where we learned about different countries. Mr. Collins asked us, "Where do you want to visit?" When it was my turn, I said, "I want to visit London." I felt nervous speaking in front of everyone, but Mr. Collins smiled and encouraged me. "That's great, Alex. London is a beautiful city," he said. After class, I would go home and practice what I learned. I would sit at my desk with my notebook and try to remember new words. I talked to myself in English, pretending to have conversations. It felt a bit silly, but it helped me. I would say, "Hello, Alex. How was your day?" and answer, "It was good. I learned new words today." On weekends, I went to the library to read English books. I chose books with simple words and short sentences. At first, I struggled, but I didn't give up. I would look up new words in the dictionary and write them down. One book I enjoyed was called The Little Prince. It was about a young boy who traveled to different planets. The story was simple, but it taught me important lessons about friendship and love. One day at the library, I met a girl named Sarah. She was also learning English, and we quickly became friends. "What book are you reading?" she asked me one day. "I'm reading The Little Prince. It's interesting," I replied. We decided to practice together. Every weekend, we met at the park to talk in English. We shared stories about our lives, and it was fun to learn together. During our meetings, I learned to ask questions. What did you do this week? I asked Sarah on Saturday. She replied, I watched an English movie. It was funny, but I didn't understand everything. I smiled and said, That's okay. I watch movies too, and sometimes I don't understand either. We both laughed, and I realized that it was normal to not understand everything. As I practiced with Sarah, I started to feel more comfortable speaking English. We would sit on a bench, surrounded by flowers and trees, and talk about our favorite things. One day, Sarah asked, Do you like ice cream? I replied, Yes, I love ice cream. My favorite flavor is chocolate. We both shared our favorite flavors and laughed. Living in the city helped me hear English all around. I listened to people talking in cafes, on buses, and in shops. I tried to repeat what they said, practicing the sounds of the language. Sometimes I whispered sentences to myself after hearing them. Excuse me? Where is the nearest bus stop? I practiced until it felt natural. I remember one time when I went to a cafe to buy coffee. I was nervous because I wanted to order in English. I approached the counter and said, I would like a coffee, please. The cashier smiled and replied, What size would you like? I panicked for a moment, not knowing how to answer. Small, please, I finally said. She smiled again, and I felt relieved. I realized that it was okay to be nervous. As I continued to practice, I felt proud of my progress. I started watching English movies with subtitles. At first, I relied on the subtitles, but as I watched more, I began to understand without them. One of my favorite movies was Finding Nemo. The characters were funny and the story was heartwarming. I watched it many times, each time learning something new. One day, my English teacher gave us a special assignment. We had to write a short story and present it to the class. I was excited, but also nervous. I thought about what to write. I decided to write about my favorite place, the park. I wrote, The park is a beautiful place with many trees and flowers. I love to go there and relax. When it was my turn to present, I stood in front of the class. I took a deep breath and started reading my story. Hello, everyone. My name is Alex, and I want to tell you about my favorite place. I felt my heart racing, but I focused on my words. When I finished, the class clapped for me. Mr. Collins said, Well done, Alex. You spoke clearly and your story was lovely. I felt so proud. I kept practicing every day. I talked to friends, ordered food, and gave directions. Each new sentence felt like a victory. One day, while walking in the park, I met a tourist who looked lost. Can I help you? I asked. He smiled and said, Yes, please. Where is the museum? I felt a rush of excitement as I explained the directions. Go straight, then turn left. He thanked me and I walked away feeling proud. Now I can watch English videos, read books, and have conversations without fear. This journey taught me patience and the importance of never giving up. Learning English was not easy, but every small victory made it worth it. One day, my English class held a speech contest. Everyone was nervous, but excited. Today, you will present a short speech in English, Mr. Collins announced. My heart raced, but I prepared my speech about my favorite hobbies. When it was my turn, I stood in front of the class, took a deep breath, and began. Hello, everyone. My name is Alex, and today I will talk about my love for painting. As I spoke, I saw my classmates listening. I felt proud and confident. After the contest, Mr. Collins praised us all. You all did amazing. Remember, speaking in English is a skill that improves with practice, he said. I realized how much I had learned in just a few months. If you are on this journey, too, remember that you can do it. Take small steps, and soon you will be speaking English confidently. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. They are part of the learning process. Surround yourself with people who speak English. And practice as much as you can. Join a class, read books, and talk to friends. Thank you for reading my story. I hope it inspires you to keep learning English. Every small step brings you closer to your goal. Enjoy the journey and remember that with practice, you will improve. You can do it.